Hey everyone, welcome to first episode of Mythbusters with Kaiwalya. I am your host Kaiwalya, and thanks for joining you all. So today's topic is community management as a career. So we have very special guest with us, Meghna Das. So hey Meghna, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah, you're perfectly audible.
Okay. Hello, this is Meghna Das here. I am currently in my final year of Bachelor of Computer Applications, and I'm pursuing it from Symbiosis Institute of Computer Studies and Research, Pune. And like it has been 3 years of me that I have been involved with different communities, and I have been working with IEEE, then with Savo Labs and Global DSC, and all these kind of communities, and it has been a great journey so far, and I'm like really excited to share about my community management experience over here and what are the various opportunities that come along with it. So yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, thanks for the lovely introduction. So let's get started. So what is a community according to you?
So community is actually something where a group of people they come together to because they have a common purpose or a sense of belonging. Uh, so now this purpose could be of like various different types. Like it could be a common interest, like a community where there are people who have a common interest or passion. Then it could be a common action point, such as communities they are trying to bring about change. There could be communities in which they are coming together by geographic boundaries. Or there could be some kind of communities in which they come together for the same profession or they or undertake the same activities. Um, then there could be some other communities in which the people come together for different kinds of external events or situations. So I guess these are the five different types of communities that are there, and primarily today we'll be talking about the communities in which people share a common interest or passion. So yeah.
Yeah, that was like really great definition for community. So like why is it important to manage a community? So we have been involved with and the audience are involved in lot of communities. So why is it important to manage a community?
Uh, so community, see, the thing is, it can be a small or a big community, but at the end of the day, what each community member wants is to be heard and to be seen and to be recognized and for their needs to be met. So for some of the community members, the end goal of joining the community could be to find a particular job or internship opportunity, or it could be like getting a medium to have some kind of support from the company's team, or just for fun activities that the company is organizing and maybe forming some new connections. So like there are different kinds of reasons why a community member joins the community, but all of these reasons at the end of the day are sort of clubbed together with some other persons who belong to the same community. So a person, there is a need to meet, like we need to meet all of these needs of the community for growing the business, and that is where it is essential that you need to manage the community in order to provide them what they are expecting from the community, and also to ensure that there is a safe environment for all types of members to interact and get together. And like that is essentially why community management is needed.
Yeah, that's really great. So we always join the communities, and there are community managers or the people who are all managing and maintaining the community. So what are the tasks, like common tasks, which a community manager performs in like day to day while managing the community?
Yes. So, like a community manager, he or she or like they may be doing a lot of like there are a plethora of tasks that they do on a daily basis, and it also sort of varies from organization to organization. Uh, but this is there is a specific spaces model by CMX in which the various tasks that are undertaken by the community are like it is noted down, and the success metrics of each of these things are written. So let's understand the spaces model a little bit in detail, so that we can further go to the exact task that why a community manager does whatever he or she is doing. So the spaces model, it stands for SPACES. So the S in the spaces model, it means customer support. So this is an application of community that many are familiar with. It can actually take the form of a support forum in which people they share their thoughts on the product, and the community answers the questions that people have. Then there is the P in the spaces model, which stands for product innovation, idea, and feedback. So these are the product communities in which members share ideas and the feedback that drive innovation and product improvement. Then there is the A in the spaces model, which is the acquisition and advocacy. So these communities, they operate as a network of ambassadors or advocates who drive awareness and growth for the business. And this is where the community and the marketing team, they work together. So a company can, obviously they can go and tell others that you use our product, but when there is a very great power of the community, and it sort of becomes more authentic when the advocates they promote a particular product or experience. Then comes the C in the spaces model. So the C means the content and contribution. So these communities are built of people who are contributing that make up the product, and like they are contributing in terms of blogs and articles related to the product. So that is the C part. Then there is the E, which is the engagement, which is again of two types. That is the external and internal engagement. So external engagement is like made up of employees, suppliers, partners, and vendors. Then the external engagement, it is actually they bring together a group of people around a common interest, that is for a product or a brand. Finally, the S again, it calls for success, which is the success communities. They drive increased product adoption and brand awareness. So they may help the customers to upskill the regarding how they will use the product, and develop some kind of strategy for the mentors and instructors. So the spaces model, it sort of defines that there are different kinds of responsibilities and different kinds of value that a community at the end of the day provides. So hence, going by all these specific responsibilities, it's like a community manager. He or she does a plethora of different tasks. So suppose the community manager, he or she has to give kind of customer support through the Discord platform or through the Telegram platform. So that the community manager does it through the Discord community. Then suppose for the P part, which is the product innovation. So in that case, the community manager may try to organize some events like 7 days of feedback, or 100 days of feature request, in which like there can be opportunities for getting a lot of feedback from the community, and requests for new features, some updates on documentation. So all these kind of stuff uh, can be in the product part. Then there is the A, which is the acquisition and advocacy part. So in this particular thing, the community manager may organize hackathons to drive more acquisition, and advocacy is basically in which the company might start an ambassador program, through which there might be some advocates of the company who will actually go out to the world and tell that, okay, this is our product, and it is really nice. I am using it. You also use it. So that is the A part in it, managing and running ambassador programs. So in this particular thing, the community manager, he or she actually uh, moves from the entire strategizing the ambassador program, to executing it, to managing it, and the entire part of it. That is what the community manager does for the A part. Then there is content and contribution. So in that particular thing, he or she will ensure that the community writes some blogs and articles on it. So they may organize some kind of a blog competition for it. Then comes the E part, engagement, that is for which they will do some kind of fun engagement activities, like playing Scribble with the community once in a while, or just talking to them and understanding what they want, such kind of engagement activities. And finally, S, which is again success. So all of these sort of combine together to form a success part. So all of these are the things that the community manager may do. One or all of these things a community manager may do in a company based on the requirement.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, I like the way you just like segregated every part of community manager's role into the spaces terminology. That would really help to determine, even if you are like trying to apply for, or if you join a community, so you can figure out actually what the community manager might be working on, basis on the basis of what kind of community you are joining. So that's really great way to figure out what you might expect out of a community. So yeah, that's really great to understand what all things community managers do. Also, so moving forward, so community managers there are like a lot more openings recently, like maybe due to pandemic and etc., when the platforms and products are shifting online, and for better community support or customer support base maybe. So community managers are like there are many openings. So how do you uh, how do you figure out that if community management role is for you and not you are not going for like maybe if hype is there or anything, how do you determine if it's for you?
Okay. Um, so community management, I would say that people say that it is a role in which you have to be like a people's person, uh, which is sort of true, I would say. But uh, I mean, like community management, I feel it is for people who are very empathetic in general. Also, you have to be really, really patient and have a thick skin. So now, why did I say that? It's because like you have to deal with thousands of community members at the end of the day, and like not everyone is going to understand your point of view at the first go. So you'll have to try a lot, and sometimes you might get into a lot of conflicts, but like that is an essential and crucial part of the job. That is the conflict resolution. Uh, so that is why you need to be very patient and calm when you are dealing with the community members, and you cannot be like, I okay, this person said this to me and now I'm not going to do stuff. So like you have to be a little bit strong on that part. And apart from that, I would say that like you have to be extremely responsible on doing stuff, because like there are a lot of stuff that I already said that these are the tasks that the community managers do. Uh, so like it involves a lot of stuff. So even though you might be working in a team, at the end of the day, you are the one strategizing the tasks and doing them actually. Uh, so your community team, they may actually help you out in some of the tasks, but it is you who has to do all the things. And you know, like sometimes it happens that in community, some ideas you might think that it is working, but sometimes it's like it's not really working for everyone, or it might only work for a certain group of people. So that is when you have to like be creative in your ideas, and you have to think quick, and you have to uh, like implement the things that are the ideas that you have, and try to see that what is working best for your community. So like you have to be creative and responsible. Apart from that, you have to be organized, and like take up leadership to in the organization, because there won't be many people who will be actually coming and telling you that this is what you have to do. It's always like they will tell you that okay, this is the task, this is the program that you have to carry out. Now you do it according to your wishes. We are not going on and telling you how to do and all these things. So you have to figure out all those stuff on your own. So you have to be a self starter in that case. Then again, if you are building a tech community, you have to be tech savvy, and like of course you have to be business savvy also, because at the end of the day you are the one representing the business to your community, so you have to be business savvy that way.
Yeah, that's great. Like a community management role brings a lot out of you as a person as well, because you have to interact with a lot of people, manage tasks and everything. So yeah, and moving to the next question, it is kind of related to the preceding question. So uh, we are hearing about DevRel a lot of time around this time, right? So, what is the connection or relation between community management and DevRel? So, are they similar, or what are the things on which they differ?
Okay. So DevRel, basically, if not everyone is aware of, it's an abbreviation for developer relations. So now developer relations is a very big and umbrella kind of term in which there are four different things. Uh, like there is developer education, there is developer advocacy, there is community management, there is developer marketing. So these are the four things that are there, and all of these four things they perform different tasks in under the DevRel umbrella. So now, developer relations is about actually building sustainable awareness, adoption, and community through the developer targeted products. So now, community management is one of the technique that DevRel relies on. So community management is about creating and maintaining a process that actually helps people to come together for a common goal. So it can apply to DevRel, but it is applicable in many other contexts. What I mean by that is community can exist without DevRel also, in which there is not tech involved. So community can exist that way also, but in tech related communities, DevRel is involved. So we need to recognize that they are separate, but they're essentially related also. So in that we can actually give them the space that both of these things require, and then it also helps us as practitioners to apply these things and know when to apply which particular technique. So yeah, that is about community management and DevRel.
Yeah, that's really great. So there is definitely a difference between, but at the base, it always comes together for like a link between the customers or people and the product or the company. So you are the uh, like person of contact for both of the worlds. Like one is business oriented, community oriented, anything, and one is the consumer or the people who are trying to learn. So yeah, definitely. So moving to next question, so we know if community management is for you and how it's related or in some sense to DevRel, etc. So the next question is, where do you find DevRel opportunities? Where companies hire, what companies hire, and what companies are looking for when they are hiring for community management role?
Mhm. So actually, right now there are several different types of companies with respect to startups and big tech, which are currently hiring for the community manager role. So for the startups, actually, you can find out the job opportunities on the these various job boards that are there, like C3 Universe and DevRel job board. So you can find the startup related job opportunities over there, and if you are looking for some kind of big company roles, maybe you can check on LinkedIn regarding that. So one thing about uh, I'll just name the companies first that are actually hiring right now. uh, so there is Airtribe, which is hiring, and then there is I guess there is Striker, which is hiring. There is My Captain, which is hiring. Then there is a Hacker Earth, which is hiring. Among the big tech companies, I guess there is Google, who is hiring, and probably you can check with Facebook and Red Hat. Maybe they're also hiring. And I recently saw a job opening for GitHub also. So, these are the big tech companies which are hiring. And apart from these, the other community teams are there are various community teams that are there in different companies, which include OutSystems, Postman, Code Chef, and all these kind of companies. So essentially, what these companies look for is a bit what do I say? related also, and it is distinct also. In terms of the common thing is that they actually look for people who have experience building communities and launching all these kind of community initiatives, like responding in online forums, and then launching some kind of an ambassador program, or like managing an open source program, or creating some kind of event series. So, like these kind of things are there in the community initiatives. And then they also look for people who have excellent written and verbal communication skills. You also need to be able to identify, track, and note down these offline and online engagement metrics, and need to be able to like have a growing mindset. Uh, which means like if you are a startup, you need to have a rapid growth mindset and have a vision which is very clear, that kind of a thing. Apart from that, it is generally expected that a community manager is an extrovert, but like I have seen various community managers who are not extroverts. One of them is me. So like it is not a very hard and fast rule that you have to be an extrovert, but that is still optional thing. Then you have to have a pleasant personality and like passionate for technology and business kind of things. So these are the things which are common for both of these kind of companies. Now, talking about like what is different is that in startups, they might actually want you to have experience, but they will be a little more flexible with the thing, uh, like with respect to how many years of experience you have. So, like they might say that you need to have 2 to 3 years of experience. But anyways, they would be like, if you really have the thing in you to manage communities and you have the passion for communities, then they will still consider you, provided that you're doing well in your interviews and all, of course. Um, but like in big tech, I find that even they are flexible, but like it is sort of good if you have 3 to 4 years of experience, which is mentioned in their job description already. So, like an experience is a big thing for big tech companies, and I would like strongly suggest that you start with startups and get this kind of experience, and then go to these big tech companies. Also, like it is very important to have good connections in the community so that you can get recommended at a particular uh, big tech company through your connections. Like that recommendation system is really strong in the community world. So that is what I would suggest.
Yeah, actually, this role is really interesting because whenever you start working, or say, suppose, even if you want experience, you can start with community, say, suppose, community classroom, or other education providing, or any other student-led Google developer group, anything. So, if you get started with them, your work actually gets portrayed from the starting, even if you are working as a volunteer or anything. You write blogs, conduct events, etc., and you put out that on social media. So eventually your personal brand gets built. You build great connection, you know people, people know you. So eventually your work is being portrayed way before you are actually trying to get in a role. So that's really great part about community, like community management, or if you are interested in really in it. And same goes for development. So if you are, say, suppose you want a front end developer role, and you are building really great projects on like GitHub and all, so it's being portrayed way before you are going to apply. So the experience and the connections and your work is there already. So if you want to really get into community management as a big role, or as your like primary source of job maybe, so that you can just get started right now, create your own community, get part of many community management or community oriented student programs. So there are many student programs which actually help and train you, like maybe GitHub Campus Expert or Microsoft Learn student ambassadors. So they actually train and give you modules to learn, so you can actually learn and build experience while you're in college. So you are actually ready while you start in the industry. So that's really great. So yeah, moving forward. So this is a bit in-depth question now. So when you are a community manager, you are doing work and also. we often see on social media like software engineer, so senior software engineer, then they uh, go up the hierarchy and ladder like product manager, etc., etc. So what's the learning curve for community managers? So because we do not generally see like senior community manager or anything like that. So what is the learning curve for community manager when you get into it?
Okay. So actually, the community, it actually depends on what role you are starting with and the organization also for which you are working. So suppose let's say that you are starting with a community manager intern role. So after this internship gets over, you get promoted to the position of a assistant community manager. Uh, Now that is the situation when there is already a community manager present in that particular company. Then you become an assistant community manager. Then after that, you get promoted to the community manager position. Then there is the senior community manager position. Apart from this particular thing, there will be a community senior community manager who will be for a particular country. For example, your community is based in the whole world. So now there will be different communities that are there in all of these in all of the world. So like for example, for India you will be a senior community manager. Then the next step will be like you will be a community head for Asia Pacific region, something like that. Then maybe you will be a global community head, which is also sometimes referred to as a chief community officer. So these are the kind of different roles that are there within the community growth curve, and like it is a very insightful journey, I would say, and it happens quite faster than the service-based companies. Uh, and like I guess it's a really good opportunity that everyone should really try out once. Those who are interested in communities.
Yeah, that's really great. And yeah, so that's the learning curve. So it's not as like a static role, you get into it and just be there for next 10 years. So there's j- growth potential, a lot good growth potential actually in while you are in this role. So the maybe the title or the kind of section for our uh, show, which is Mythbuster. So, what is the common myth you face while if you say to your colleague or your friend that hey, I'm community manager? So, what's the basic or base myth or common myth around people for community management?
So, like community management myth, I mean, it's like I have heard that people say that community management is something in which you just conduct events and like you go to the online forum and then you just answer questions and that's it. And sometimes it's also like people say that it is social media management and stuff. Like you go to social media and you post stuff and you interact with the members and then that's it. And the most weird thing I have heard is like they are just like sales people who sell the product through a community approach. So like obviously I would sort of agree to the last weird one, but it is like you provide first a value to the community and then you sell the product. So, yeah, you may say that, but we are still providing value to the community and we are also doing everything that you said, which is like events and conducting all these things. But there are specific reasons why we do it, and we do it for growing our business and to achieve a quantifiable impact. So, yeah, that is a common myth that I have heard.
Yeah, so community management is not just a sales and marketing team. So that's
Myth busting.
yeah. So that was kind of plug from our side. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, so moving forward now, it's the time to take the questions from the live chat. So people just put in your questions. Also, when your questions gets featured here and answered by the guest, so take a screenshot and tag us and Community Classroom on socials. So the best question gets swag. So we can reach out to swag. So we cannot just reach out to you through your chat from YouTube. So when your question gets featured and answered here, take a screenshot of it and tag us so we can reach out to you. So let's get started with it. Yeah, so let me just bring some questions from the community here. There are really great questions. Mm, mm, Maybe, yeah. So Joel asks, how do you lead a community which goes completely off topic of the original common idea? What measures do you take to bring them back on track?
Okay. So like there can be different situations in which you are getting off track with your initial agenda. But like you need to firstly have a vision in which why you actually started the community and what you actually wanted to do with that community. So even if it goes off topic, there can be some ways in which you can bring it back to the track, such as suppose it's like you are doing some kind of ambassador program or something, and it is going off track. That is, people are not getting much active on it, and they are more interested in engagement activities or something like that. So what you do is, in the engagement activities, you talk about the stuff that was originally planned, and you make it more interesting to them, and you sort of incentivize it, which makes them want to come back to the original vision and try to understand why they actually sort of joined the ambassador program in the first place. Uh, and maybe also you can have one-on-ones with these kind of these ambassadors who will eventually understand, and they'll get back to the topic.
Yeah, so great question, Joel. Hope it's answered. So please do tag us on socials. So next question is uh, from Henak. So I started community before, but it's so hard to get people involved in it. Example, when live streaming, only handful of people used to join. How can we increase members' interaction? Good question.
Hmm. Okay. So like when you started the community, like the handful of people who actually joined you, uh, like you have to know that what was the reason that they joined you, and what are the things that they wanted. Suppose they wanted some kind of a value in terms of like not only the product that which you are sort of selling to them, but maybe they want something else also. For example, they want some kind of insight from you, like on their resume or their profile or their portfolio website. So you do resume review or portfolio kind of sessions for those handful of people only. What I mean to say is, you do something unique for them and you try to give them what they actually want, so that like they can go ahead and tell to their friends, and those handful of people will make another handful of people, and that is where your community will start growing. So that is how you can actually increase your members. And like you should also remember that there are already some activities going on in various communities, so you have to be unique in the way you are giving value to your community. So like you have to think about it a little bit on that.
Yeah, also if you are conducting event and so at the last the your motive is to provide value to the people watching your stream, and it would be there if it's like on an open platform like YouTube, etc. So make sure like try to make it on an open platform, so even if the people are not there on time, maybe time zone difference, etc., they can come back and join. And there are many people in a community who might be watching you silently. There are always Eddie always says that there might be someone who is watching you from the shadows, something like that. So there might be someone who is actually seeing your progress, etc., right? So at last you are trying to provide value, so don't go on metrics when you are just starting. So you can actually see on metrics when there are like interactions and etc. So your main goal should be providing value, and that's what makes a difference at the end. So great questions. uh, so the next question is from Jaideep. Hey Meghna, you also started as a newbie there, and some things, what would you like to do as a beginner?
Okay. So like I started as a community manager intern at Kaiwalya, and like I used to first of all work with the community manager who was there, and I used to learn all the things that he used to do. I used to go Like it was like I was a kind of a shadow of him. Like wherever he used to go and whatever events and what all the things he used to do, I used to go like behind him. Like I wanted to learn everything that he's doing, and I wanted to make sure that I am also like doing all of the things that he's doing. So first of all, I tried to learn as much as I could, and second I did was that provided my unique inputs into the community. Like what are the things that I could actually bring from myself, apart from whatever I was learning. I tried to implement all those things. Like for example, for the engagement part, it was like we generally wanted people to like interact in our Discord server, share different kinds of ideas and all these kind of stuff. But like it was becoming difficult for us, so I started asking them daily questions. Like I used to form various kinds of weird questions, and they used to ask, and like it was kind of a connecting kind of a session also. So I did that, and I was also given the responsibility of conducting events at different colleges. Like we had some kind of like monthly and weekly targets of having these many members into the community. So there could be various methods by which we could do it. So one of the methods which I used was to do different kinds of events at colleges, and like that is how we got 200 and 300 participants from it, and and we used to conduct these events on Discord. So we got more kind of more community members through that. So in general, it's like you have to learn and you have to provide your own value while in the starting, and in the next steps, you will slowly be handed over more responsibilities, and you'll get to interact with many other. You'll get to interact with other teams also, like the marketing team, product team, engineering teams. You will learn many more things through that also. And when you finally become like a community manager, that is like you move from an intern position to a manager position. That is when you will actually do things on the roll, and it is more like execution of the strategies and the things that you have learned, and that is how it works.
Yeah, that's really great. And like, just when you're getting started and you're a beginner, so there won't be always icebreakers. So you have to create icebreakers for yourself. And you're learning, you have nothing to lose when you are starting out. And there are people to help
Yes.
you. So you are not thrown into forest fire and told to go and rescue yourself. So people are there to help you out, but the first effort should be from your side. So yeah, that's really great point. Another question from Chris, it's a great question. So what efforts does community manager has to put in order to gain reach from hybrid audience? Although tech Twitter is one of the best way, but what other options should also be kept in mind? Yeah, this is a nice question.
I can't see the question yet.
Oh, is it visible? Or did you hear me? So maybe I can recite it to you.
It's actually loading. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So, what efforts as a community manager has to put in order to gain reach from a hybrid audience? Although tech Twitter is one of the best way, but what other options should also be kept in mind? Okay. So like a hybrid audience, it's like you mean to say that there is an audience in the online mode also, there is offline mode also. Another thing is like it is easier to find out things when you are conducting an offline event. That is, in that particular event, the person, whatever event you are conducting, a person will directly ask stuff to you, and you'll get to know the engagement rate through that and how many people are actually coming back to that thing. It is easier to track that way, but in online mode it becomes like sort of, it becomes like a radio silence in which people don't speak, only you're like ask questions, and you're like you're not asking anything. So it becomes difficult in that way. So I guess it's you have to understand that what is the problem, and you have to suppose the topic may be a little bit difficult for the target audience to understand. So maybe try to change the delivery style or the approach in which the presentation is being given. Try to make it more understanding. Use visual dynamic tools in which the audience can actually interact with the speaker instead of just having to ask questions and all these kind of stuff. So that is how you will be able to engage the audience in an online mode better. And of course, for offline mode, food and all these kind of swags and all these things, there can be no replacement for these things, and they often like they really work so as to get the best kind of event on an offline mode. So yeah, tech Twitter is the best way to do it. You can also try to reach the audience through like uh, there are different kinds of maybe you can write some kind of things on Telegram. You can share it through your WhatsApp or like through your different kinds of Discord channels that are there. Share it in different kinds of communities. Uh, like that is how it works. So I mean that is how you can do it.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, it's really like for a hybrid audience, like there are two types. Like one is like the people are people in your community and online from others, like take Twitter as you mentioned, and when like online people and offline people. So yeah, for online which people which are not on your like server or the platform of your company or community, then you can join maybe if the Twitter is there, then you can join spaces, talk related to your uh, the community values, etc. Say suppose your community is focused on open source, so join the spaces for open source, talk about it, and mention about your community and how it's helping. So it's not like it's not bad to boast about the community if you are doing really good and helping out people, right? So just add there like, hey, my community, or I am involved as a community manager here, and do check out. Just a small mention might help someone who is attending the, say suppose, space for first time, to actually get with a really good community, and they might as well learn a lot and get good in their career. So it's not bad. So again, as Meghna mentioned in offline, so there are like many, the meetup.com. So if you just search on meetup.com and search for your city, maybe you might as well find out the tech events happening in your local area. So you can actually go there, meet with people, network, and tell them about them. So people won't know unless you tell them about it. So yeah, you can actually try that on different platforms, and yeah, that would actually help you build your network, etc. So yeah, I hope your question was answered. Thanks for the question. Next question from Jaideep again. So, what are your most important engagement values, and how will you make sure these values are reflected in engagement process?
Okay. Um, so actually, the engagement it actually depends from the organization to organization. The things that are there. But in general, the engagement you have to ensure that people are really interacting about the product that you are talking about, and like they are feeling interested in the basic motive of the community that you're providing. They're taking part in these kind of activities, and they are also sort of spreading the word in their community, and it is getting these word of mouth kind of interactions, and people are really joining your community. That is the new people joining your thing, your community, and you have to ensure that these people with whom you are engaging, you are carrying out all these kind of activities, they're actually using your product through making like making a different kind of project if it is an SDK product. So you have to ensure all these kind of things. And how do you do these things? It's basically through different kinds of activities. For example, if you want a particular user to use your product, who is a community member, suppose this person has already done kind of a project in a hackathon. So you can be like, okay, now I'm hosting another competition in which there can be different kinds of awards based on uh, based on whatever level of projects you're doing, and I'm going to incentivize it. I'm going to provide you with some kind of prizes, or I'm like starting some kind of a Shark Tank kind of a event in which you can build a new kind of a startup or something by using the product that we are having. So you have to sort of think of these kind of innovative ideas in which you can sort of solve one particular engagement goal, and and you can do all these things. Other engagement activities that you can probably think of is like interacting with them daily through the Discord polls and all such kind of questions. Poll is a like really good way, and you can throw some other kind of daily questions at them, and also you have to participate yourself in these kind of questions. Otherwise, like the community, like you have to be and set by an example, sort of. So you have to participate in it yourself, and you have to initiate some kind of conversation. Suppose it could be like you're initiating a conversation on RPA on your Discord voice channel, or it could be like you are starting something like how to work in communities, how to ensure that what is community management. So you're doing a Twitter space around it. So we'll ensure that these community members are joining these kind of events. You have to provide that kind of a. You have to first understand that who are the people who actually want to know these things, and you have to ensure that those people who want to know these things are actually coming to the event that you're organizing. And yeah, that is how it works.
Yeah, so you should be knowing the people who are in your community. So that's the point. So it's not like the people are expecting A thing and you are repeatedly conducting events on B thing. So that's not going to work. People are not going to be interested in joining it. But so that's what uh, the essential part, the communication part for community manager comes into picture. So how well you know your community members by communicating with them, and maybe healthy, like every day you like maybe welcome people and you chat, etc., and get to know your uh, community members well. So yeah, that's the key point here. So uh, I cannot see any more question, I guess. If you have any more questions, please do let us know in the chat so we can actually answer them. I guess Meghna got disconnected. We will wait for her. Hey Meghna, I hope
Hi, yes,
it's
I'm back.
okay. Yeah, yeah. There's a question. I guess it was answered, but if you could give a quick point, how to increase reach of the community and give some useful to the community, a quick like maybe points, because I already discussed it before. Meghna, I guess your pose. Yeah. Can you see the question?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
So it's like how to increase the reach of the community and give some useful things to the community. Okay, so
Yeah.
for increasing the reach of the community, it's basically like you have to ensure that there are people who are already there in the community. They are talking about your product to other people, and you also have to you have to get new members to the community. So for that, you have to ensure that you are providing something unique. Apart from the things that you are already providing to the community, there is something unique which you are also providing, which you will sort of put it out in the social media like Twitter and LinkedIn, that you're going to have this kind of a portfolio review, or a special guest is coming to this kind of an event. So if you want to interact with this kind of person, so you just come to the community and you'll get to interact with him or her. So these kind of things you can do, and you will definitely get to reach the community of that particular community builder whom you are inviting to the community. So that is how it works.
Yeah, great points. So, uh, yeah, that I see no more like unique questions. Please make sure like because the questions we answered just now have like all the points covered. the in the questions you are asking, the new questions you're asking. So make sure you check them out after the session is over, maybe. So yeah, so I see no more question, and we are about time. So yeah, Meghna, during this entire discussion and many point exchange, what are your ending notes? So if someone is watching this video for like maybe first time and don't know anything about community management, what are your ending notes uh, to like help them maybe?
Hello, am I back?
Yeah, yeah, you are back. No problem. Yeah. So I was asking, what are your ending notes
Yes,
on if someone is watching it
yes,
for first time?
yes. So actually, community management, I would say like it is a very like I would not say that it is a new thing which is coming, but it is sort of really getting popular nowadays, and many new people are joining this field in the recent times, and like DevRel is getting very popular nowadays. So I would say that if you are a person who can like who is really passionate for communities, you have been leading several these kind of programs and these kind of things in your college. You have been having several leadership positions, so you can like definitely try and come to this field and see for yourself. Like I would really suggest that there are some people who are like, okay, now I've done these kind of things with my community. I've done events and everything, but now I want to go to the software engineering roles. Of course, you can do that, but you should have to, at the end of the day, see that is that really what you want to become a software engineer, or community management community is what you really want to work with. So, like, if you find that passion early on, it is best to switch to this role and explore this field. And if you feel really interested, you can continue. Otherwise, you can definitely switch back to SDE roles. That is totally fine. But I would strongly suggest that you explore this field. It's really a great one, and you get a lot of different opportunities and to work with different kinds of teams. For me, is particularly a very interesting concept because it really helps me to not get bored in the particular job. I have new challenges to look forward to every day as a community manager. So like you should definitely join this field and try to explore these things and find out for yourself if it is a career for you.
Yeah, and even if it's not your career goal at end, joining a community always helps. So join a community if you are a beginner and watching this stream for the first time. Maybe join a community. EduHub is there, community classroom is there. Do check out our socials and speaker socials from the description below. And yeah, you can get started. You and if you are a student and like exploring through fields, so you should be like really. And community management is basically is an addition to your personal skills. So even if you don't like the field or don't want to get ahead in the future for full time as a community manager or etc., you can always make take advantage of the public speaking you gained from the role, network you gained, then maybe opportunities you gain from the community. So it's always a win-win situation when it comes to the community. So there is no harm at least for joining the communities. And if you want to be manager and volunteer, that's up to you totally. So please make sure you go through all the amazing points discussed by Meghna throughout this session, and hopefully this stream helps you get through your career, and maybe we can see many great community managers coming up after this stream. Great. So that's the wrap for today. Thank you everyone for joining, and let's see you in the next episode for the Mythbusters with Kaiwalya. Bye everyone.